Welcome back, VA users. In today's session, we are going to learn how to set up the bank and the bank account into the VA system. So let's move on to the formal definition of the bank and the bank account, and thereafter we'll configure or set up the bank and the bank account into the VA system. Now, what is bank? Okay, a bank is a financial institution licensed to receive, deposit, and make loans. Bank may also provide financial services such as wealth management, currency exchange, and safe deposit box. There are several different kind of banks, including retail banks, commercial or corporate banks, and investment banks. In most countries, banks are regulated by the national government or central bank. Now, what is bank account? A bank account is a financial arrangement between an individual, business, or organization and a bank, allowing the account holder to deposit, withdraw, and manage their funds. It serves as a centralized location for holding money and conducting various financial transactions. So that is basically the bank and the bank account. Let's move on to the VA system and we'll see how to set up a bank and later the bank account. I'm at my landing page of ABC admin. Now we just need to search the bank window using the search utility. So here is the bank. If I want to configure my bank, so let's say I want to configure my bank called ICICI Bank. I need to define my address. So I will first select my currency, then I need to give the address. And say okay. Once the address is defined, then you need to enter the bank identification code, also known as routing number, IFSC code, BIC code. Okay, so enter your bank identification. If you do not have the bank identification number, I would enter a dot since it is a mandatory field. Enter the SWIFT code, enter the bank verification class if you have a certain bank verification class, and if the bank is for the certain business partner, you would be able to select. So that depends on to the various scenarios. Normally, to configure a bank, you just need to enter the name, the address, the BIC, on the SWIFT code, and you need to mark own bank as to that this is your organization bank. So you need to mark it as own bank. So that's all. That is how you would be able to create your bank. Now the another part of into the bank, there are going to be bank accounts. Now how you would be able to define your bank accounts? To define the bank account under the bank, you just need to move on to the account tab, click onto the new record, select your organization for which you are defining the bank account, and then you will define your bank account. Give the name of the bank account. So I will say ABC Corporation. The bank account type. So my bank account type is checking account. The currency of the bank, and the BVN and the IBN if required. Since these are non-mandatory field, I'm not entering anything here. Then my opening balance of the bank is, let's say, 50,000, and that's all. If you want that, you need to mark this bank account that the check number will be automatically controlled, then you need to check on the check number auto controlled. Okay, so I want my check number to be automatically controlled, so I will check on this true, and my opening balance becomes my current balance. Opening balance is normally received in your trial balance when you ask from the customer while entering the opening balances into the system. Okay, the unmatched balance gets automatically updated by the system as a result of banking general process within the system. Okay, now thereafter you just move on to the account line, and the account line is the system maintained tab, and this gets automatically updated when the banking journal or the bank statements gets processed into the system. The next step is the bank account document. So We have marked that our check number will be auto control, so we just need to define the check numbers. So I will say check book 1 and the payment method is check. My current next number is, let's say, 1110, and my start number is 10010. My check end number, because my check contains 10 leaves, so I will enter here. The priority for this check is going to be 1. The priority is to define only when, if you have multiple checkbooks entered at one time, okay, then the printout or the process you would be able to enter. Okay, so you just need to save this, and now you need to move on to the payment class. Now the payment class would be utilized at the level of the payment form, so I will not enter anything here. So when we'll move on to the payment form, at that moment of time we will showcase you how you will be able to set up the payment classes. Then as a result of the bank account setup, the system copies all the default codes from the accounting schema to this place. So it is always recommended you must have a set of ledger codes for each bank account, so that it would be easily tracked later on from the financial statements. You would be able to define these default codes. Checking account is basically a current account. Checking in transfer is your bank in transit, other current account in transit. Okay, and these are two intermediate codes that basically required into the VA system to process certain transactions. Then we have the statement class. The statement class needs to be linked and binded if you are using the bank statement form. So we'll discuss about the statement class later on. So for the time being, that is how you would be able to create the bank and the bank accounts into the VA system. I hope this video would be beneficial for you. Now you would be able to set up the banks and the bank accounts into the VA system. For now, let's take a rest, and we'll see you again into the next videos. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.